with guidance and services to create the recipe for success. The Time by Sagicor Bank is
7.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Coming up in CVM News at 7, up in smoke, school bus destroyed by fire in South Manchester. From destruction to reconstruction, government moves to rebuild hurricane-hit schools. The cost of transformation, National Stadium facelift, estimate climbs again. Who should protect our children online? Government examines impact of social media on youth. And later on in sports, Jamaican Jay Gale mines gold as Jamaica adds 2 more medals at Commonwealth Games.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of.
Seize the next IPO opportunity seamlessly with the Sagicor e-Invest.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Wednesday, July 29, 2026. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks for joining us. An investigation has been launched into the circumstances that led to a school bus catching fire in Crosskeys near Plowden Primary School in South Manchester Wednesday afternoon. Reports are that the driver was the only person aboard at the time of the incident and was not injured. Firefighters responded to the scene and extinguished the blaze. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz, while acknowledging that this isn't the first such incident involving a school bus, says he will allow investigators to complete their work.
I can confirm that I've received a report about the fire on a school bus today at about 1:20 in Crosskeys in Manchester. I'm happy to report that there were no students on board at the time and that no injuries. The matter is being investigated and of course we will keep the public advised. This is not the first incident of a fire. We've had it on even some of the new buses, so we'll allow for the investigation to take place before we make any judgment.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, in her address to the post-cabinet media briefing, disclosed that the government plans to spend just over $1.9 billion to repair 3 primary schools damaged by Hurricane Melissa. Crystal Williams reports.
Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon visited schools in the West that will need to be ready for the 2026 to 2027 school year. She says the last time she visited Petersfield Primary School was in May.
And the school was in really bad shape. And I was able to see significant progress from me. In another 2 weeks, they will have the roof up. They had an entire classroom block that went. Their bill is $302 million for repairs. I also went to see Cokesview Primary and Infant. That one isn't moving as quickly as the others.
$700 million was the amount reported by the minister to repair Cokesview Primary School. She says the bill for Petersfield Primary was $302 million, while the bill for Unity Primary amounted to $990 million. She says the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service has prioritized the refurbishing of the primary schools.
So many of the schools need complete rebuild. They're not all going to be finished for September. We will be putting up the list of schools being repaired, what is being done for those schools, the value of the contracts and who the contractor is and where we are with it.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
The National Stadium is set to receive a facelift valued at roughly $331 million. The Culture Minister, Olivia Babsy-Grange, disclosed what appears to be the new figure for the ambitious redevelopment project during Wednesday's post-cabinet media briefing at Jamaica House. In 2022, the government announced a $76 million price tag for the redevelopment of the National Stadium. And in 2024, that figure jumped to $100 million. Here again is Crystal Williams.
Culture Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange says the design stage of the refurbishment of the National Stadium is expected to end in July 2027. She adds that their goal is to have it completed in time for the Women's World Cup.
Essential work is currently underway, including site geotechnical and topographical surveys, structural, civil and ground support survey, and the structural testing of the existing grandstand concrete roofing, which we intend to maintain. Only the grandstand concrete roofing will remain standing. Everything else is slated to be taken down and rebuilt.
She says the work currently underway will inform the project scope, construction requirements, and the cost of the overall facelift, adding that the allocation would be rolled out over the next 3 budget cycles.
The stadium is estimated to cost $331 million. To date, we have spent 666 million Jamaican dollars in doing all the preparatory work.
The minister also says the stadium's redevelopment project is to be funded under a framework for cooperation between the government of Jamaica and the UK government by way of loans.
The framework for cooperation allows access to loan financing for up to 85% of the stadium redevelopment cost, with the government of Jamaica funding the balance. The new National Stadium will move to a 37,500 seated capacity, a 50,000 concert capacity, a 9-lane track, full roof coverage, FIFA, World Athletics and Green Guide compliance, along with required amenities.
Minister Grange added that Stadium East would also be redeveloped and serve as the temporary facility for events while the National Stadium redevelopment project is underway. Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Meanwhile, the government has unveiled a survey presenting the findings of the impact of social media on children and young people as it explores measures to better protect them from the harmful effects of excessive online use. One of the key findings from the survey is that the majority believes that the government should play a proactive role in the regularization of social media among minors. Carla Ramdeen reports.
The government has commissioned research into the impact of social media on children and young people as it explores measures to better protect them from the harmful effects of excessive online use. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the findings show that respondents largely support the government's proposed regulation of minors' use of social media.
The highlights are that 9 out of every 10 respondents, or 90.2%, support government regulation of minors' social media use,
while 2.9% expressed opposition. In addition, nearly 84% believe Jamaica should establish a clear national policy framework governing minors' use of social media. The findings sent to my mind, I was surprised when I saw the results, a strong message. The Jamaican people recognizes that this is an issue requiring national attention, and they expect thoughtful leadership on the issue.
Dr. Tufton explains that the government recognizes the benefits of social media, including enhanced learning and improved digital literacy, which can foster self-expression among children. However, he says the study also highlights the risk associated with social media, particularly online safety concerns and the growing number of mental health challenges affecting children.
Increasingly, international evidence shows that excessive social media use among children and adolescents is associated with anxiety, depression, disruptive sleep, poor self-esteem, social isolation, reduced physical activity, and other health concerns. These are no longer simply technology issues. They are public health issues, they are child protection issues, and they are national development issues.
Meanwhile, Principal Investigator Dr. Stephen Johnson explains Jamaica lack a comprehensive policy governing minors' use of social media, making a proactive approach to reducing online harm essential. He notes the survey indicates that most Jamaicans think that regulating social media is worth pursuing despite it proposing challenges.
But at the same time, they are conscious of the fact that minors would likely find ways around the restrictions, which we have evidence indicating that that has been happening in Australia, where 80% of minors are still online despite an outright social media ban. And again, this is an indication that an outright ban is not necessarily a solution to social media dependence among minors.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Jamaica has issued its first casino operator's license, with Adamus Grand Casino Limited approved to operate at the Princess Grand Jamaica Resort in Hanover. The milestone clears the way for an estimated US $800 million investment expected to boost tourism, create jobs, and establish the country's regulated casino gaming sector.
We are pleased that we've been able to issue the first casino operating license in Jamaica. We are excited for the opportunities that this will bring to the sector, really for the growth and development of the sector, and even more so, the growth and development of further growth and development of our tourism product. We remain resolute and steadfast in ensuring that the sector develops responsibly and develops in a way which maximizes the long-term benefits to Jamaica and its people.
Meanwhile, the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches says it remains concerned about the social impact of expanded casino gambling, warning that economic gains must not come at the expense of families and vulnerable communities. The group says it will continue to advocate for safeguards and accountability as Jamaica enters this new chapter. You're watching CVM News at 7. More in just a moment.
For investments, we don't chase the #1 spot. We set it as our standard.
We don't react to markets, we anticipate them, armed with deep research, sharp strategy, and a commitment to staying ahead.
My team and I are committed to delivering expert guidance that empowers clients to invest in confidence.
Our clients benefit from insight, access, and execution that only a true market leader can provide.
Ranked among the top investment companies for revenue generation and market activity for 10 consecutive years, winning 7 times.
We ranked #1 in value trades on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. As Jamaica's largest unit trust fund manager, our Sigma Unit Trust Fund was valued at approximately $157 billion in 2025.
This level of consistency is not luck. It's the result of strategic vision. At Sadvicor Investments, #1 is not something we strive for. It is our standard.
Employers, once a month, you have the power to shape Jamaica's future. By paying your hard 3% contribution, you're not just contributing, you're investing in people, in skills, in our economy. Your hard contribution trains working-age Jamaicans, aligns programs with workforce needs, and secures our future. That's not just contribution, it's transformation. Contribute to heart and to your future.
Before the first patty is baked, they are hands that grow what we need. For Jamaica, by Jamaicans. Through every season and challenge, they built with us. They believed. To every farmer, thank you.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Political commentators are continuing to weigh in on the People's National Party's response to the leaked voice notes scandal rocking the opposition. Our reporter Kevin Black joins us in studio with more.
Thank you, Nika. While the PNP has admitted the comments heard in the recordings were made by its members, opposition leader and the PNP president, Mark Golding, said those controversial remarks do not represent official party policy. But political commentators are questioning the answers provided by the PNP and have largely found them wanting in the balance. Speaking on CVM's Lead Story Prime Tuesday night, they argued the party has yet to clearly address the issues raised by the recordings or adequately reassure the public. We hear more in this report.
The People's National Party is facing continued scrutiny over its response to leaked voice notes involving party members discussing the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA. While the party has maintained that the comments do not represent its official position, political commentator Ronaldino McLean says the response has left several questions unanswered.
The PNP isn't saying what their position actually is on Major General Anthony Anderson and what their position is on NARA. They're not saying whether or not they will condemn these voice note recordings. They're not confirming or denying who the people are in these voice notes that we're hearing, whether the reports of one of them being a councillor is true or not. And I think it's a slap in the face to Jamaicans who actually took the PNP side on telling the government to slow down with this NARA bill.
McLean's comments come as the party has refused to go beyond its earlier statement on the recordings. Political analyst Joshua Atkins says the issue raises questions about whether the party's actions are consistent with its public calls for accountability.
I think it speaks to the consistency of the message and the principles that underlie the PNP and its values. For example, if I value integrity, the average intelligent person would expect me to prioritize integrity in the vast majority of decisions that I make, and that be consistent in all of my actions. I feel like the vast majority of Jamaicans are looking right now for unity within the party.
Another political commentator, Dicardiago Nelson, says the party's handling of the controversy could affect how the public views its commitment to transparency and good governance.
Mark Golding is usually seen as a strong figure when it comes down to speaking publicly matters of integrity and accountability. In light of the fact that Mark is always going against the government, antagonizing them today, be more accountable, be more transparent, be more open with the public. This certainly goes against his character.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
In other news now, Crime Stop paid out more than $10 million to tipsters last year. That's according to new figures from the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ. The program's executive director says public support remains the driving force behind its success. CVM's Giovanni Hamilton tells us more.
For every tip that results in an arrest, recovery or seizure, there is someone who chose to speak up. Crime Stop Jamaica's executive director, Sharice Bruce Douglas, says last year's $10.3 million in rewards was paid to just 6% of tipsters, as only information leading to successful outcomes qualify for a payout.
That $10.3 million that we paid out in 2025 was just to 6% of our tipsters. So this signifies that majority of our tipsters are not interested in rewards. They are more interested in curtailing crime in their community. Despite that, however, of course, we paid out that $10 million, and of course, persons are intrigued by the rewards, but it shows that we are getting pertinent, significant information.
According to the Planning Institute of Jamaica, the program received 809 tips in 2025. The executive director says those achievements are only possible because members of the public continue to share information with the program.
It is important. The public support is important through Crime Stop because that is the only way we work. We are an anonymous tip line that gets information on criminal activities, not just murder, all sorts of criminal activities. And that information is fed through anonymous tipsters from start to finish. Even when you collect a reward, we don't know your identity. We know that we have a stigma of informer. We know that persons are fearful to provide information to the police. That is why Crime Stop exists.
She is also seeking to reassure Jamaicans that submitting information remains completely safe as the system is designed to protect the identity of the tipsters.
When we say we don't know who our sources are, we genuinely don't know who our sources are. So we encourage persons to continue to call our 311 tip line, continue to visit our website at crimestop.org and submit a tip. Nothing is traceable. We know that there is that fear of anything leading back to you. I can tell you we have been around for 37 years. We've never had a single source compromise. Crime Stop has been effective. Crime Stop has been successful because of our very Jamaicans who call and give us information daily. So we will continue to encourage persons, if they have information, call us at 311 any time of the day. We're open 24/7.
With more than $95 million paid in rewards over the years, Crime Stop says public participation remains one of its strongest weapons against crime. Javoni Hamilton, CVM News.
To a CVM News follow-up now, Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon has responded to concerns raised by protesting residents on Monday over the proposed closure of Mulgrave Primary School. Natasha Williams tells us more.
Following a review by the National Education Trust in January 2026, at least 9 primary schools in Western Jamaica were considered for possible consolidation after extensive hurricane-related damage. Mulgrave Primary School was on that list. Since then, parents and the school community have strongly opposed this potential merger, citing several safety and financial concerns. At a post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday, Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon formally responded.
The repair cost for that school is 65? I'm hearing it's 65. It's actually less than the 73. And that the cost to repair it is 65 million. So discussions in relation to Mulgrave are not completed. And so we're continuing to work with the community. The community doesn't have to worry. We're having conversations with them. And this is something we're doing with several communities that have small school population.
However, the residents who protested on Monday against the proposal says the ministry fails to provide them with any further communication since their last meeting in June.
We've been having a hard time from the ministry trying to keep our school open. I'm the PTA president, Mr. Brown. I've went to the ministry several times asking them what's the situation with the school. They gave me no answer. We have several donors who are willing to fix the school, and several times they denied. We're still waiting on an answer from them, and we're concerned about our school being open.
Contrary to Minister Dixon's claim that repairs for the school is estimated at $65 million, Mr. Brown, who is also a licensed contractor, says based on his own assessments, his estimations differ.
Our estimate to repair the school from Field Hardware, right? $1.5 million. You think our school not worth $1.5 million to fix? As far as I see it, it's politics. It's politics, and we're asking the Prime Minister to intervene. And we're calling Brother Mackenzie to intervene because this is the only shelter we have.
The community members are now awaiting the green light from the ministry on their proposal for Marywood Primary to merge with their student population instead of children traversing what they say is a 7-mile journey into an unsafe territory to attend Marywood Primary School. Brown stressed though the ministry had promised to put a school bus system in place along with other amenities to ensure a smooth merger, the residents are not confident in those promises. They maintained the need for their school to remain open. Natasha Williams, CVM News.
On another note now, family, friends and members of Jamaica's creative community gathered Sunday evening to honor the life of former Miss Universe Jamaica contestant Latoya Malcolm during a candlelight vigil. Malcolm, whose life was cut short following a medical challenge, is being remembered not only for her pageant success, but also for the impact she had as an actress. Carla Ramdeen has her story.
The glow of candles and the sound of tributes filled the evening as loved ones paused to celebrate the life of Latoya Malcolm. While many remember her as a Miss Universe Jamaica finalist, those who worked alongside her says her passion for performance was evident long before she wore the crown. Playwright, director, producer and actor Luke Ellington says he recognized that talent from the very first time they met.
Actually, I'm the first person who put her on stage. The first play she did, because I went and see her at some audition stuffy, and I like what I saw, and I invite her to my production, and she come and she really excelled.
Ellington says Malcolm quickly stood out for her dedication and professionalism. He says it didn't matter what role she was given, she always showed up prepared and gave it her all. According to him, she approached every production with the same level of commitment, regardless of the size of the part.
The first play she did, I think it was Starboy, but we do so much by, I can't remember all of them, but we know Starboy really stand out because she really excelled in that one. But she do quite a few plays. She do Bad Influence. She do Force Right Pick. She do quite a few. And she really, whatever role you give her, she just take it on and she deal with it. Nothing was too big for her to do.
As friends and colleagues continue to mourn her loss, Ellington says Malcolm's passion reached far beyond the stage. He believed her greatest contributions were still ahead of her and hopes her life will inspire others to pursue their dreams with the same dedication.
What I know is she'll be sadly missed because she barely scratched the surface of her talent. And one thing she basically get involved in everything she could get her hand on. She dance, she sing, she I don't know. And then she end up on, I don't know how she end up in a Miss Universe, but she's the kind of person that she always wants to participate in things.
As candles burned in her honor, those closest to Latoya Malcolm remembered a woman not only for the crown she wore, but for the passion, dedication, and lasting impact she left on every stage she graced. Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
CVM News at 7 continues after this break.
KFC Summer Bucket.
Chicken, Mac-a-Deal, Super Chicken.
This KFC Bucket deal has you thinking chicken. Get the summer bucket for $4,700.
Get a T-Tag and lock in your toll rates for the next 90 days. Effective Saturday, August 1st, 2026. There will be some changes to the toll rates at the Portmore, Spanish Town, Vineyards, Maypen, Tollgate Mainline, and Tollgate Ramp toll plazas. But with a T-Tag, your rates will remain unchanged until October 31, 2026. Plus, all Class 1 and Class 2 T-Tag customers will get their 10th weekly trip through the same toll plaza free. Visit transjamhighways.com for the upcoming rate changes. Don't pay more at the toll booths. Get your T-Tag today from any manually operated toll booth on Transjam Highways.
Before the first patty is made, there are hands that raise it, hands that grow it, hands that move it, hands that bake it, and hands that serve it. For Jamaica, by Jamaica. Through challenges and changing seasons, they stood strong. They built with us. They believed. To every farmer, every team member, every partner, thank you.
KFC Summer Bucket. This KFC bucket deal has you thinking chicken. Get the summer bucket for $4,700.
The time by KFC is
7:30.
Welcome back. Artificial intelligence could soon play a bigger role in the shipping industry. The move was among the key issues discussed during a visit by the Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization to the Caribbean Maritime University in Kingston on Tuesday. More details in this report.
The global shipping industry has been under pressure the last few years. Growing cyber threats, rising costs, geopolitical instability, and ongoing supply chain disruptions are testing an industry responsible for moving the vast majority of the world's trade. Also of major concern, a global shortage of qualified seafarers. Now, seafarers are the people who work on ships.
The reality is that if we move forward with the decarbonization of shipping as we are planning right now, the projection is by the 2030, we may be short of around 400,000 qualified seafarers to be able to operate these vessels. But this is why we're focusing as well on technical cooperation in providing that assistance. And it's the reason why for me visiting universities like the CMU, it's so important to learn how you're expanding the scopes on areas in shipping, how you're adapting the new technologies in your training requirements, and how that's going to be benefiting all those new students, the future generation that we need for shipping here in the Caribbean.
Arsenio Dominguez is Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization. On Tuesday, he visited the Caribbean Maritime University in Kingston. During his visit, the Secretary General spoke about the need for the shipping industry to embrace new technologies, including artificial intelligence.
Right now, we're looking at some vessels that are fully autonomous, others that are semi-autonomous.
When you say semi-autonomous and fully autonomous, you mean there's no one on it?
So for the full autonomous vessels, there's no one on board the vessels. We've seen that just very recently being introduced in shipping when it comes to short sea shipping, so very short distances, mostly when it comes to passenger ferries in very coastal areas, and that's where we're gathering information. Then you have the semi-autonomous, which still have the human interaction when you actually operate in those vessels.
While that shift is underway, President of CMU, Professor Andrew Spencer, says Jamaicans are already being trained to work with the technology.
There's a discussion about autonomous shipping, which really just means ships that are unmanned. Nobody is actually navigating the ship as a captain. This is not happening on a large scale yet, but we need to be thinking about the seafarer of the future. All of our programs, for the most part, have an innovation ethos where we're training people to peacefully coexist with the technology. So, for example, we have robotics, we have mechatronics, and all those things happening, but it is not about a workforce that no longer has workers. It's about a workforce that is now equipped to operate at another level.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
Here now is Michael Paul with social media.
What's trending online today? Things got chaotic in halfway through on Wednesday morning after a man believed to be of unsound mind allegedly damaged several vehicles near the transport center. A viral video shows him walking into traffic with what appeared to be a stick, smashing a car's side mirror before shattering the windshield of a passing minivan. Definitely not the kind of excitement commuters were looking for on their way to work. Now, social media, of course, has plenty to say. At Claims Records says, "Nah, mash up no new car. Him no way, man do." At Quantum_skill_Archie comments, "He knew what he was doing. Why would he surrender when he saw the police?" At Junior Vibes 876 says, "Every old car get it. Jaja no." At Ari Hammond comments, "Insurance cover madman." At Denny on Keys says, Half of 3 people are weak, man. Only have strength for fight on family and friends, but when it comes down to truly defending what's yours, when they get timid, shoulda me. And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM_television on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Michael Paul.
It's now time for regional and international news.
We begin with news in Trinidad. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissesa says increased support from the United States has helped Trinidad and Tobago's protective services contribute to a reported fall in serious crime. We hear more from TTT News.
Despite what she described as attacks and criticism directed against the protective services, the Prime Minister said members of the Police Service, Defence Force, Strategic Services Agency, SSA, and Prison Service continue to perform their duties with dedication and sacrifice. Mrs. Persad-Bissesa said the government remains committed to working with international partners to dismantle the local drug trade and restore public safety.
In international news, a teenage hitman has been found guilty of flying from Norway to the UK to murder an unknown target for a gang supported by Iran. Sky News has that story.
A teenage assassin arrested by armed police before he could carry out his hit. He was hired by a Swedish gang, backed by Iran. 19-year-old Johannes Natland flew from his home in Norway to Manchester Airport. He arrived using an expired passport. Border Force refused him entry initially, but without an available flight back, he was released on bail. Natland was directed to a stash of cash under a bridge by a gang member. He used it to pay for his hotel room in Huddersfield. Despite following all the instructions, Natland's mother says he would never have gone through the fatal plan.
The U.S.-Israel war on Iran is widening once again, with the U.S. and Saudi Arabia launching joint airstrikes on Iran's backed armed group in Iraq. France 24 reports.
Mourners gather outside this hospital in Mosul as bodies are carried from the morgue. The crowds chant. Among the cries, one calling for death to America. The US and Saudi Arabia jointly struck Iran-backed armed groups in Iraq Wednesday, killing at least 20 members of a former paramilitary alliance that includes pro-Iran groups.
And that's it for regional and international news. I'm Carla Ramdeen.
We return with sports right after the break.
KFC Summer Bucket.
Chicken, Macadillo Super Chicken.
This KFC bucket deal has you thinking chicken. Get the summer bucket for $4,700.
Turn up to 25. Could I drive out fresh in a MG ride with a staycation all inclusive flex? Yeah. Heart of Jamily cash. Yes. Smart TV, PS5. And home upgrade.
Turn up your winnings this summer with Digicel. Sign up or switch to postpaid or Digicel Plus. Buy a SIM. Top up with 5 bills or more. Buy a 7-day plan or higher. A smartphone deal or just pay your bill. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period June 24 to September 5, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for terms and conditions.
Watch Walking on the Word with Apostle Professor J. Andrew Scott every Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m.
An apostle cause 3 contracts to be released to you. So as